Hey there, Liz Chism here, and I'm so excited that you grabbed this Profit Pilot calculator. In this video, I'm going to walk you through how to set it up, how to use it, and how powerful it is. And honestly, it's going to take all the guesswork out of your estimate so you can actually make more profit. The contractors that I work with have been using this and they've been able to increase their profits, really get those numbers dialed in so that they know how much they need to charge so they can stay profitable and grow their construction business. So the first thing that you're going to do when you click on that big button in that email that you got is you're going to get a page that looks something like this. What you're going to do is you're going to create an account. This is going to set you up so you can log back in at any point in time. You can store all your estimates here. You can then, after the job is done, you can go back to those estimates and enter your job costing so you can understand where your estimates weren't very accurate and where you're probably losing money. Most of the time, our estimates are way too optimistic. And so what we end up doing is undercharging when we're not very accurate. And so by job costing after the job is done, we can then compare, okay, what did we estimate to what the actual costs were? And we can understand where we're just bleeding profits. So I already have an account, so I'm going to open mine up and show you that first page. When you sign in for the very first time, it's going to ask you for the information about your business. Now, this is very important so you can create estimate ready PDFs with all of your information in there. So obviously I threw in some information right here that makes it very easy for this video, and you can go ahead and click save changes. The second thing that I want you to do is load in all of your employees. Now, there's a couple of different ways that you can load in employees. First of all, if you're only tracking labor hours and then you're saying, okay, overall, I'm going to charge $100 an hour for labor, that's going to include your most expensive employee and your cheapest employee. It's also already going to include your overhead and all the costs related to that employee. So if that's the case, you're just going to go and add in just general labor, and then you can just say that this is, one of my guys charges 105 per hour. So we can just do this, so that way we know exactly what that is. And we're going to just say 105. And then we're going to save changes. So the other thing that you can do is if you don't calculate your labor as a pool, you can calculate your labor individually. So you see that I have a carpenter here, a foreman, a laborer, project manager. You put their hourly rate, how much you're actually paying for them. Now, obviously, it's going to cost you more as a company than this hourly rate, and we're going to calculate that later depending on where your business is. So we're going to go and put in all of this. Now, if you, as the owner of your construction company, are managing projects as the project manager, so you're wearing the hat of the owner and you're also wearing the hat of the project manager, I want you to put the project manager salary in here as well. Even though you may not be paying that, you want to make sure that you're calculating that. It's one of the biggest mistakes that I see in estimates where the owner ends up just assuming those costs and they get pushed to overhead, and then the overhead gets way out of whack, and then you're not really making enough money on that job, and it also makes it really hard to go hire a project manager as you grow your construction business. So I like to put project manager on here as well. There's another spot for subs, so we're not going to do subs. This is just for employees that you employ. So we're going to save changes, and now we are ready to go build our first estimate. So I'm going to go over here to the dashboard and I'm going to create a new estimate. Now, we can go through and add all the project details. We're going to go through and add all the job tasks. We're going to go through the labor projections, the materials up here at the top. We're going to add equipment, subcontractors, and then we're going to calculate the profits. Now, I'm going to go back to a previous estimate that I have done just to make things easier for this video instead of me entering all this data. That data is going to be very specific to you, but it's also going to be very eye-opening. So I'm going to go back here and load this estimate right here. So in order to save this estimate, this project detail section needs to be filled out. So I put Doe bathroom remodel. This is how many square feet it is. This is the project manager. Here's the client's number. There's the project location, the start date, how many days it's going to take to complete this project. And then it's going to automatically calculate a target completion date. This is really important because most contractors actually just start working on the job and just have a start date very clear. And then it ends whenever the job decides to end because the work is done. And most clients actually don't like that. They want to know when their project is going to be done. They want to know when their bathroom is going to be able to be usable. And so by having it calculate, okay, your job is going to be done on the 3rd, then you can have those schedules built in, and your client is going to actually build more trust. You're going to get better reviews and you're going to get more referrals by making sure that you're working with a project completion date versus just a start date. So those are some of the little things that you can add in there. Obviously, if you're way off on this, that's something that you need to work on systems and processes to make sure that you're on schedule on every job. So once you fill out the project details section, you can move on to creating whatever this job is. For this example, I did a bathroom remodel. So I've got a demo in here at 32 hours. We've got to gut the whole thing. We've got to tear everything out. We've got to go all the way down to the studs. We've got to do a lot of work in this bathroom. And maybe it's on the second story of a house. And so we need to add a little extra labor for carrying all of that debris out of the house, down the stairs, all the way to the dump trailer, and so on and so forth. So I've got two guys in this position, and I'm going to go, okay, the laborer is going to work on this and the foreman's going to be there. So I've got two different hourly rates here. So I'm going to say, hey, the laborer is, oh, see, I have 15 hours, so there's 1 hour remaining. So I got to actually bump this up. Okay, now I've got 16 hours and 16 hours. You can add other tasks as well. You can clump it all together and just say, hey, on a bathroom remodel, it's typically 60 hours. And you could just put 60 hours. So we could just say general remodel. I'm going to move my head way over here. And then we could just say, hey, this is actually going to be 60 hours. And we could just say general labor. And then we could say, this is 60 hours. And so that way it's just going to calculate 60 hours at that general labor rate. So that is the easiest way to do things, especially if you're looking back at previous estimates and understanding, okay, where did I go wrong on this and why am I broke? So instead of putting down every little detail, just clump it together for a quick overview of your jobs. Now, moving forward, if you want to get a little bit more granular and you want to really understand, okay, where is my money going? How can I make more profit on this job without doubling my prices for that project or for that homeowner? Now, there are some contractors that I've worked with that literally have needed to double their prices because they were undercharging so much, and we doubled their prices and we were still getting clients because the work that they were doing was quality work. So it really just depends how you're doing it. But for the sake of this video, I'm going to actually delete this one and just pretend that we're going to do demo, and that's the job. Obviously, you can add as many job tasks as you want. You could do general labor. You could do your foreman. This is not going to include subs. Subs are way over here. Now, the next thing that you want to do, because I'm only showing an hourly rate for each of those, I'm going to have a labor burden, meaning how much is it actually costing me to employ these employees? It's not just $45 an hour. You've got overhead and taxes and all of the things that go along with employment and insurance. And so typically it's between 20 to 40% a multiplier. So I put this at 25%. If you're also adding benefits and 401k and health insurance and things like that, then you're going to be upper to that 40% line. And you're going to have to look back at your previous paperwork to see like how much is it actually costing me when I employ somebody for $40 an hour. And then that number you just can put in here, and then you can go on with that. So those 32 hours are not costing you these two amounts. It's actually costing you that amount plus this multiplier to make sure that you're covering all of your costs associated with that labor. So once we finish labor, we can now go on to materials. So I just threw in a couple of materials here just for kicks and giggles. Obviously, this is not a true estimate. It is just for the sake of this video. So I've got lumber and permitting and plumbing fixtures and electrical and all sorts of stuff. You can add more materials down here, and this is going to be the cost. Sometimes I even put what the labor is. So it is X amount of dollars per 2x4. And so when I calculate lumber, I'm actually just calculating that. And you can get really granular here, or you can just make a very general, just materials. And this is how much it costs. That's going to be best for looking back at previous estimates and saying, hey, where did I go wrong? Like I mentioned before. So once we have the material costs all in there, I'm going to move my little person back over here and go back up to the top. We're going to add equipment. Now, for some, you may need a porta potty, so you want to add that equipment here. I like to actually rent tools from my own company, so that way when I need to go buy another tool, I have the budget to go buy another tool because my tools wear out. Tools do not last forever. At some point in time, they wear out. You need a new saw blade, you need new bits, you need a paint sprayer that's not clogged anymore because it's been 10 years old. Like whatever the fact is, you're going to need to go buy more equipment at some point in time. And so each job should be paying for the equipment that you need to buy. So I like to add just a little rental fee for all the tools. Now that can get baked into your cost. So that way the homeowner doesn't need to know that you're renting your tools from yourself, but it's a way to not lose money on a job. Next thing, I've got a dumpster here. So these are just miscellaneous things or equipment or different things like that that are going to need to happen in order for this job to happen. So they're costs directly related to the job, but they're not necessarily materials and they're not necessarily labor. The next thing that I have here is subcontractors. So typically on a bathroom remodel, you may have a plumbing or electrical. If you're a roofing contractor, you may actually sub out somebody removing the solar and putting it back on. So there's different subs that you can put in there. You can also just delete this and it will calculate it without it, no problem. So depending on how you've structured your business and who you use, if it's all subs or all employees or a mixture of both, you've got that flexibility with this calculator. So once I do this, now that's all the hard costs associated with the job. That's what you call cost of goods sold or COGS. And so what a lot of people do is they like to do markup individually. So they're like, okay, I'm going to mark up labor 50%. I'm going to mark up my materials 50%, but my equipment, I'm only going to mark up a little bit. And my subs, I'm only going to mark up a little bit. And so therefore, I've got this blend of different markups. And that's where we end up losing our math. That's where we end up not charging enough, or we don't really understand where our numbers are and how much we really do need to charge in order to cover the overhead and create profit at the end of the day for our business to keep growing and thriving. And so you can either do a target gross profit margin that just sets it across every single category, and then you can adjust it here. So you can say, okay, well, there's no way somebody's going to pay that much, but I'm going to put 30% here. The guys I work with, I've gotten them up to 50%. Some of them are even at 51%. We're pushing to 52, but we're not quite there yet. So, but this is how we're actually able to grow and to really understand our numbers. So that way we know where we're bleeding profits and where we can leverage the numbers in our business to grow. So once you do that, I'm actually going to just put this as the markups individually because this is the way most people do it. So I'm going to show you this. Then it gives us a cost summary. So it shows us, okay, where are we like way out of whack? We've got some gross profit here. We've got some subs. We've got some labor. So labor isn't that high. Obviously, this is just an example estimate. And so these labor costs are not actually accurate, but it gives you a good idea of where these different things are and go, wow, my materials is way out of whack. Is that accurate? Or is that like on a left field and I have something that's not calculating right? So then you can go here and you can see, okay, here's the labor. Here's the materials, here's the equipment, here's the subs. Those are costs. That's the subtotal. That's how much it's going to cost to get this job done. And then it shows the square footage cost. And then it shows that if we do these markups, then this is actually how much gross profit margin we have at the end of the day. Now, most of the time, people get confused between markup and margin. And so what happens is we think that we're going to get a 30% markup, and really we're only going to get about a 20% margin. And so by understanding these two numbers, well, really, you don't have to understand these two numbers. You can just look here and it does all the math for you. So you're like, okay, on a job that's this amount, this is our profit, which means this is how much we're going to charge the homeowner, which means that per square foot, this is how much we're going to charge. Now, this number is super, super important because what you can do is you can track this number across all of your similar jobs. So let's say you have 10 bathrooms and 10 kitchens. You can go, okay, on a kitchen remodel, it's going to be approximately $400 a square foot to redo a whole kitchen. On a bathroom remodel, it's going to be approximately $350 per square foot to do a whole bathroom. And so you're able to right over the phone be like, hey, your bathroom's this big master bathroom with all this custom stuff. Yeah, you're probably going to be looking at about this pricing for your bathroom. Is that within your budget? And you can qualify people on the phone because you have the data to see what your trends are in your business. You can also realize, wow, I'm losing money every time I'm only charging this amount per square footage. And so you can bump that up a little bit. Okay, if I'm at $350 for per square feet for my jobs, then I know that I'm not making any kind of money on these jobs. Now, this is really important for you to track over time and see the patterns, and then to go back and use that as leverage in your business to grow your business. So I like to just look at that number, but it's not really anything that I'm going to do right now on this estimate. So for this particular example, I have a gross profit margin of only about 30% total. Now, that's all these numbers that are combined and mathematically figured out for you. So again, you don't have to do the math. You just have to go, I'm not marking up my equipment enough. I better bump that up a little bit because this 30% is not going to be enough for my business. In fact, this is going to be 19% under the recommended amount of 50% gross profit margins for my jobs. So what you can do is you can go, okay, I'm actually just going to bump up my equipment to 50% as well. And then look, we're now up to 31%, and you're now making just a wee bit more on your jobs. Now, if you're like, oh, that's still not quite enough, I better mark up my subs a little bit more. But maybe you're like, I don't think I can mark up my subs that much. Let's just mark up my labor a little bit more because it's a lot of risk to employ employees. And so then you can see, okay, now I'm at 31.5%. So I'm down a little bit. I'm making a little bit more square footage. And so you can play around with these numbers without any math knowledge in your brain. You can just literally look at that number and be like, is that enough money for me to grow my business? And if not, bump up your numbers. So once you're from there, you can either download a proposal, you can download a summary. Obviously, you always want to save this, and then you can go back and you can see it right here. Now, let's say you create a template for your jobs. This could honestly be for painting, it could be for roofing, it could be for remodels, it could be for really any industry when you're using time and materials for this type of job. And so when you have like, okay, this is my template, you can then say, hey, I'm going to make a copy of it. And then now it's going to load all of this here. And then when you're on the fly at the job and you're like, okay, this is a typical bathroom remodel, it's the same thing. We're going to replace the toilet. It's the same thing. We're going to put new molding. It's the same thing over and over and over again. You don't have to recreate this entire estimate from scratch. You can just adjust the numbers a little bit depending on the special circumstance for that particular job. So let's say it is a second story house versus a single story house. Okay, I'm going to just bump up some of these hours a little bit to account for that. Or let's say they decide on the finishes to be way more expensive and they want the top of the line of everything, then you can go, okay, typically the finishes are going to be X amount, but because you want the high end of stuff, you can just bump up this number a little bit. And you're like, okay, the finishes are actually going to be $1,600. And then therefore it's going to calculate everything automatically on your estimate. And so you can spit out a number super, super quickly, and you can really adjust how you estimate a job, and you can estimate a job within just a few minutes because you're already using a template that's just a little bit of adjustments depending on the type of thing. So you could have a bathroom template, you could have a kitchen template, you could have a paint the whole inside of the house, and this is how many square feet it is. This is paint the whole outside of the house. This is how many square feet it is. If it's a 2-story house versus a single story, if it's 10-foot ceilings versus 8-foot ceilings, you can literally customize it however you want. And then at the end of the day, you just hit save estimate and you're completely ready to go. So this is how you use it. This is how you can leverage this calculator to make more money in your business. And if you ever have any questions, you can always reach out to us. There's a whole support tab right here that has all the information on it that you can look at. If you need support beyond the technical aspects of this calculator and you want to go, okay, how do I actually charge the homeowner these astronomical prices? Because apparently I've been undercharging according to this calculator, which that's the realization a lot of contractors realize when they're like, I should be doubling my prices and there's no way anybody's going to pay for that. That is what our Get Her Done community is all about. And so it is a place for us to teach you how to market your business, how to position yourself in the marketplace. So that way you can grow your business and really attract those clients that are going to pay you what you're worth to deliver that job. Use this calculator. If you have any questions, you know where to go, and I'll see you in another training video and another day.